Welcome to Numismatics Hub, your ultimate destination for fascinating stories, rare coin discoveries, and all things numismatics. Join us as we explore the world of currency and uncover hidden treasures one coin at a time. In 1964, America was a country on the cusp of transformation. It was a year of monumental events, from the civil rights movement gaining momentum to the space race heating up and, of course, the cultural shifts that were taking place all across the nation. But amidst all this change, one piece of history would soon capture the attention of numismatists and coin collectors alike: the 1964 USA In God We Trust Liberty 5-cent penny. This small, seemingly ordinary coin has a rich history, an intricate design, and a significant place in American culture. But what makes this coin so special, and why does it now carry an astonishing value of $165,000? Let's dive into the fascinating story behind this piece of American heritage. The story begins in the mid-20th century when the United States was facing both economic prosperity and social unrest. It was a time when the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins to meet the needs of a rapidly growing population, and the 5-cent coin was a vital part of daily transactions. By 1964, the design of the nickel had been relatively unchanged for decades. But this would soon change thanks to an unexpected series of events that involved the nation's history, its economy, and its shifting moral compass. The Liberty nickel, introduced in 1883, had gone through various design modifications over the years, but by the time the 1960s rolled around, the coin was due for an update. The traditional designs featuring Lady Liberty or other allegorical figures had largely given way to simpler, more straightforward representations. The coin was a vital part of the currency system, but by 1964, changes in the national mood were beginning to influence coin design. For one thing, the addition of the phrase, "In God We Trust," on U.S. coins was becoming more prominent. The phrase, "In God We Trust," had been added to U.S. coins starting in 1864 during the Civil War, when the country was in the midst of turmoil and looking for a way to reaffirm its moral compass. Over the decades, this phrase had become a symbol of the United States' collective faith and was later adopted more widely, appearing on nearly all U.S. coins by the mid-20th century. In fact, it was 1938 when the motto first began to appear on the 5-cent coin, adding a religious and patriotic element to the already revered symbol of American currency. The 1964 nickel, however, had an unusual journey. The coin's design remained relatively unaltered from previous years, yet what made this coin so unique was its minting. To understand this, we need to go back to the political climate of the early 1960s. The year 1964 was significant for several reasons, but one of the most important for numismatists was the fact that the United States was transitioning from silver-based coins to a more cost-effective composition. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made the decision to stop using silver in most circulating coins, which created a ripple effect that reached the 1964 nickel. At the time, the Liberty nickel, like other coins, was minted with a silver alloy. However, there was an issue with a small group of 1964 nickels. These coins were minted with a mix of nickel and silver, making them distinct from the typical copper-nickel alloy used for the rest of the year's coins. In total, only a very limited number of these silver 1964 nickels were produced. Most of the coins produced in the year used the more common copper-nickel composition, but some were mistakenly struck using the silver alloy intended for the transition to the new coinage composition, which made them extremely rare. It's important to remember that the U.S. Mint didn't deliberately make these silver 1964 nickels. It was an error in the production process that would go unnoticed for many years. The few that were released to the public went largely unrecognized for their true value at the time. This series of mistakes led to the coins being collected quietly and becoming a part of American numismatic lore. However, it wasn't until the 1990s that these rare silver versions of the 1964 nickel began to attract attention. The journey of the 1964 USA In God We Trust Liberty 5-cent penny is one of mystery, chance, and discovery. As the years went by, collectors began to notice subtle differences in some of the 1964 nickels. Experienced numismatists who had a keen eye for the finer details of coin production began to identify the coins struck in silver, marking them as an accidental minting error. With time, these rare silver 1964 nickels became highly sought after by coin collectors. The fact that they were produced in such limited numbers made them a prized find. Yet, the full recognition of their significance didn't happen overnight. In fact, for many years, these nickels were simply considered to be part of the general collection of 1964 coins, with only the most discerning collectors knowing that some of them were worth far more than their face value. By the late 20th century, the discovery of these silver 1964 nickels started to make waves in the world of numismatics. Coin collectors and enthusiasts began to trade and auction these coins, sparking a renewed interest in the history and design of U.S. currency. One of the most important aspects of the silver 1964 nickels was their rarity. The number of these coins in existence is extremely low, and many were lost or damaged over the years. Finding one in good condition, particularly one that has been well preserved, is a rarity in itself. Now, let's talk about the design of the coin, which is as rich in history as the story behind its minting. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This image, designed by Felix Schlag, had been used on the nickel since 1938, and it has become one of the most recognizable depictions of Jefferson. On the reverse, the coin features a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has also become synonymous with the ideals of freedom and democracy that the United States holds dear. The coin was designed with an eye toward simplicity and elegance, and it has endured as a beloved piece of U.S. currency. The use of "In God We Trust" on the coin added a further layer of meaning, underscoring the connection between the nation's religious heritage and its political identity. As for the appeal of the 1964 USA "In God We Trust" Liberty 5-cent penny, the combination of rarity, historical significance, and distinctive design make it highly desirable among coin collectors. But what truly drives its value to incredible heights is the fact that it is, in essence, a hidden treasure. A coin that, despite being issued in 1964, holds a much deeper value, one that comes not only from its composition but also from the story it tells about the intersection of American culture, history, and error. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much is this rare 1964 coin worth today? The value of a typical 1964 nickel in good condition is relatively modest. However, when it comes to the silver 1964 nickels, the price skyrockets. The highest auction price ever recorded for one of these silver 1964 nickels has reached an astonishing $165,000. That's right, $165,000 for a coin that started its life as just a regular 5-cent piece. The rarity of these silver nickels, combined with the historical importance of their accidental creation, has made them one of the most sought-after coins in the world. In conclusion, the 1964 USA "In God We Trust" Liberty 5-cent penny is more than just a coin, it's a piece of history that tells a fascinating story of chance, error, and discovery. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to explore the world of coin collecting, this little 5-cent coin is a reminder of the rich and complex history behind the money we use every day. And while it may have started out as just another penny in circulation, today it represents something far more valuable, a rare treasure worth $165,000 and an irreplaceable piece of American history. The 1964 USA "In God We Trust" Liberty 5-cent penny. It's important to note the significant impact that this coin, and others like it, have had on the world of numismatics. The discovery of the silver 1964 nickels wasn't just a moment of excitement for collectors. It also helped raise awareness about the nuances of coin production and the importance of recognizing mistakes made at the U.S. Mint. In a way, it marked a turning point in how numismatists and coin enthusiasts approach the hobby of collecting. Before the recognition of the rare silver 1964 nickels, many coin collectors focused primarily on the more well-known and widely circulated coins, such as the Morgan silver dollar or the Buffalo nickel. However, the silver 1964 nickels, with their accidental rarity and unique backstory, introduced a new category of collectibles: error coins. As interest in these types of coins grew, a whole new subset of the numismatic community emerged, dedicated specifically to searching for, verifying, and preserving these remarkable, mistruck pieces of history. Coin dealers and auction houses quickly took notice of the rising demand for error coins, and prices for the silver 1964 nickels started to climb. What had once been a humble 5-cent coin now became a coveted piece of numismatic history, and collectors around the world began to hunt for any remaining examples in good condition. With each new discovery, the value of these coins continued to rise, fueled by the growing fascination with the idea that a simple mistake at the mint could lead to a windfall for those lucky enough to find one. The allure of error coins isn't just about their rarity. It's also about their uniqueness. While the design of a coin might be carefully planned and executed, errors like those found in the 1964 silver nickels provide a glimpse into the sometimes unpredictable world of minting. These coins carry with them a story that no other coin can tell. A story of an unintended mistake that turned a routine coin into a rare artifact. It's this unpredictability that draws collectors and historians alike to error coins, making them a fascinating and valuable part of any collection. In the case of the 1964 USA, In God We Trust Liberty 5-cent penny, the presence of silver in an otherwise standard nickel was an unexpected but fortuitous twist. Because so few of these silver nickels were minted, finding one today is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure. A coin that was never meant to be, but has since become a symbol of rarity and historical significance. This is precisely what makes error coins so exciting for numismatists. They are, in essence, little time capsules capturing a moment in history where things didn't go quite as planned, but the result was something far more valuable than anyone could have imagined. For those who are just starting out in the world of coin collecting, learning about error coins like the 1964 silver nickel can be a game changer. It opens up an entirely new avenue for exploration, one that goes beyond the typical coins you might encounter in circulation. While most people are familiar with the regular, everyday nickels, dimes, quarters, and pennies, few realize that hidden within these seemingly ordinary coins are valuable treasures waiting to be uncovered. Error coins teach collectors to look beyond the surface, to examine the details and imperfections that make each coin unique. Whether it's a slight misprint, an off-center strike, or a change in metal composition, these errors are what make coin collecting so thrilling. The increasing popularity of the 1964 silver nickel has also contributed to a broader understanding of the role that coins play in preserving the history and culture of a nation. Coins are not just tools of commerce. They are symbols of the times in which they were created. Each coin tells a story about the values, priorities, and events that shaped the country at the time. The silver 1964 nickel, for example, serves as a reminder of a pivotal moment in American history when the U.S. was transitioning from a currency based on precious metals to one backed by paper money. It also reflects the changing attitudes toward religion, with the phrase "In God We Trust" taking on added significance in the context of the era's cultural and political shifts. The fact that the silver 1964 nickel was created as part of a mistake makes it all the more fascinating. It's a reminder that sometimes, it's the unexpected events that leave the most lasting impact. In the world of numismatics, coins like these are prized not just for their beauty or rarity, but for the story they tell, about a mistake that turned into a treasure, and about how a simple 5-cent coin could become worth $165,000 in the decades to come. But what about those who are lucky enough to own one of these silver 1964 nickels? What does it mean to hold a coin with such historical and monetary value? For many collectors, owning a piece of numismatic history is a point of pride and accomplishment. It's not just about the financial value, although that certainly adds to the allure. It's about being part of a community that appreciates the beauty, the craftsmanship, and the legacy of the coins that have shaped the nation's history. For those who have managed to acquire a silver 1964 nickel, it is a treasure that will likely only increase in value over time. As with all rare collectibles, the demand for these coins will continue to grow as interest in American numismatics expands. If you're fortunate enough to have one of these coins in your collection, you're not just holding onto a piece of currency, you're holding onto a piece of American history. And as we've seen, the value of that history can be extraordinary. So, what does the future hold for the 1964 USA? In God We Trust Liberty 5-cent penny. As with all rare coins, the market for error coins will continue to evolve, influenced by factors such as collector demand, economic trends, and the discovery of new examples. What we do know is that the silver 1964 nickel will remain a coveted item for years to come. With its rarity, its distinctive composition, and its connection to one of the most pivotal moments in U.S. history, this small coin will continue to capture the imagination of collectors and historians alike. In the end, the story of the 1964 USA, In God We Trust Liberty 5-cent penny, is a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things happen when we least expect them. What began as a simple error at the mint has turned into a valuable artifact worth $165,000, captivating coin collectors across the world. The coin's value is a testament to the incredible journey it's taken over the decades, a journey filled with mystery, discovery, and the ever-present thrill of finding treasure in the most unlikely places. And so, the next time you come across a 1964 nickel, take a moment to appreciate it for what it represents. Who knows, one day it might just be worth far more than you ever imagined.